Oh shit. I am live. All right, I'm back. I think I'm back. No, I'm not doing experiment. I swear to God, I thought I was I thought I had it scheduled for 2 o'clock. So I was downstairs doing laundry, finishing up Lord of the Rings, and figured I'd come up here and just get ready. And didn't realize it already started streaming. So I apologize, guys. Apologize for that. Screw up on my mistake here. Maybe Reggie took Don out. I'm always looking, man. I'm always looking behind me. When you call people out on their videos, man, you gotta keep a watchful eye. He's getting wrapped up in CGC grading. Yes, very much so. A pile of boxes fell on him. That's very possible because Kurt, Joker 68, wanted me to make a fort with comic book boxes. So I'm thinking about doing that, but I'm a little afraid. Burglary, no burglars. That was me putting the gate up for Miss Haley so she doesn't go down the steps. Oh shit, I'm live. That should be my intro. Yeah, me too, man. I was just in my t-shirt and boxers a minute ago, so I'm glad I did put some clothes on. All right, guys, I'm going to do a little, just a little reorganizing. Figured I'd do a live stream and chat with whoever was online. Over here to the side, I have all my X-Men books, and they're kind of the boxes are not in order, so I'm going to put them in order. And my DC section is nowhere in order, so I have to do that too. So if you guys want to stick around and watch, it's going to be just me live streaming, cleaning my room. Can you guys hear me all right? Everything good? Let me know in the chat if you guys can hear me. I'll try to look at chat as often as I can. And when I reorganize my room, I am a big fan of paranormal TV shows, stuff like that. So I'm always watching, like, right now I think it's Terror in the Woods. I love that shit, man. Count Von Strange, what's up, my man? Looks like you had a good time at C2E2. Chris M said he's been at his desk since 9, hasn't really worked. Probably gonna get fired, but he's self-employed. So yeah, can't fire yourself, man. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. Like I said, I'm just gonna do some reorganization. Got Miss Haley. I got my Starbucks. Love these little drinks, man. These little Starbucks drinks, man. These are good. All right. Let's go ahead and get the ball rolling. Christopher was shaken up. Definitely shaken up. At about 3:30, I'm going to go down and feed Miss Haley. But picked up a few books. I'll show you guys before you guys can see it live before I do a video for it. But Midnight Suns, The Rise of the Midnight Suns, Ghost Rider number 28. Apparently, there's going to be a TV show in the works for this. That's what I've heard through the rumor mill. So if you guys can find these, I mean, I've been finding these at the flea market for like 33 cents a piece, but these are not polybagged. So try to get the ones that are polybagged. Could be a book that's on the rise. Got these in yesterday. Dark Red. Have not read it. But it's about vampires. So can't go wrong with that. Pick that up. And then I completed my all-new X-Men run with the 2 books that I needed. So that is officially done. And also got the whole series of Wolverine Best There Is. As you guys know, I've completed volumes 1 through 7 of Wolverine, and now I am just working on miniseries and one-shots. Oh, and I got a couple one-shots in here too. But I finished that whole run. I got a Wolverine, the anniversary one-shot. Wolverine under the boardwalk. Pretty awesome cover. He's got a gun to the back of his head. One shot. And for some reason, when I ordered this, I thought it was a one shot, but it's actually part of a miniseries. But Wolverine Hercules, number 2 of 4. So I'm gonna have to. It's another miniseries I'm gonna have to finish off. But you know, I think I could probably have my Wolverine collection probably complete by this year. I'm thinking, because like all I said, all I need is one shots and little mini series, and they're not expensive. The one shots, I mean, a couple I've seen for like $8-10. So I might be able to find them for a little cheaper. But let's see what we got going on. It was pretty good, and the woman at the end is hot. Yeah, I seen the variant covers with the woman at the end. I think C2E2 also had a couple of exclusive variants there too for that book that are going for pretty damn good money. So, all right. So basically, almost this entire section up to right here is all X-Men books. All my X titles. So I'm gonna try to put these in order. Not really order, but try to get like my Wolverines in order. I have this big old stack that I gotta somehow fit in one of these boxes, and I know I don't have any room because most of these boxes are pretty. I don't like them full anymore like I did before. I used to pack them pretty full, but now I have a bunch of extra. Well, not really a bunch anymore. I've got like 4 extra boxes. So I try to leave a little bit of space in each box. So you don't want to get the the little what do they call it, the little roll on the side. I need to go next year. I mean, I wish, but we'll see. Maybe I can make it out. Runs in a Family said he enjoyed the Midnight Suns era. Yeah, that was good. That was a good little mini series, man. So that's what I'm gonna do. Don't know how long the stream's gonna be, but fuck it, we'll go with it. Yeah, I just, as you guys know, a big goal of mine is to have all the X titles complete. So that's going to be a challenge, but I see it happening in my lifetime. So here's my box with all new X-Men in it, and X-Men Legacy, new X-Men, X Factor. I mean, there's a little bit of everything. I do have a little bit of rhyme and reason to these boxes. Like I try to keep like the smaller runs together in a box, so that way they're not scattered throughout. But it's tough. It's tough, guys. Let me see here. It's been claimed by the locals that map is haunted. Lucky to have his share of ghostly encounters, such as when his partner Santiago was murdered. In some cases, the ghost returns to where they died. But these boxes here, the Uncanny X-Men, those are all my Uncannies, plus this box here. This small white box is carryovers from my Uncanny run. Because what happened is I switched everything over to Mylar. So Mylar is a little bit thicker, and I really didn't want the books pressed in there that tight. So I may have to mix this up with the all-new X-Men. In this box here, it's just like current mini-series and stuff of X-Men. So I got Wolverine 1 here, Savage Wolverine, Wolverine Origins. And if you guys have noticed, I started doing a, I don't want to say like what's in the short box, but I'm just kind of showing off my collection one box at a time. And right now I'm working on Wolverine. So if you guys haven't checked that out, check them videos out. I just did a video for my Western Ghost Rider, which I'm pretty stoked about. Here's my only X-Men. Okay. And I got it buffed up, so I can put these in here with it. I go to the post office. If you guys if you guys want to find something to put in your boxes behind the comics, if they're not full, go to your post office. These little tiny priority mail boxes here, they're great, man. You just put them together and just stick them behind your books. And if your box isn't full, it keeps them from bending over and getting all beat up. But yeah, I find them useful. I like them. I think I've seen that on I want to say Silver Age Dave's channel. That's what I love about YouTube, man. You can find ways of different ways of collecting or different ideas for your room. So, all right, so I got those in there. So I got X-Force Volume 1. Uncanny Volume 2, 3. Old Man Logan. But now that I made a mistake and did that video where I wasn't in the room, I think I might do a lot just for shits and giggles, a live stream where I just film in my comic book room with me not even in here, just film. I think that'd be fucking funny as hell. To see how many people would watch or whatever. I don't know. I just think it'd be funny. All right. So I'm going to put this down here. So if you guys remember, I bought these black plastic corrugated boxes about a month or so back. If you guys are curious, they've worked out pretty good. Yeah, they've worked out pretty good, and I don't have any issues with them. They're not buckling or anything. So if you guys want to get them, I think they're pretty cheap still on eBay. They're a little bit more sturdy than the white boxes, because the white boxes over time, when you have them stacked up, they tend to kind of buckle a little bit on the lids. So this would work. So yeah, I suggest picking them up. All right, so these are kind of organized somewhat. So there's my Uncanny, and it leads right into Wolverine. So here's my Wolverines. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 boxes. 7 short boxes of just Wolverine books. That's insane. And that's not even, I need to look and see how many actual one-shots and miniseries there are that involve Wolverine as the main character. I know the ongoing. What's up, Geeky? I'm glad you made it back. I saw you were here before. Like I said, you're just tuning in. I didn't realize it was live streaming. I thought I had it set for 2 o'clock. So I was downstairs doing laundry and watching the end of the first Lord of the Rings, and I didn't realize that my live stream had already started. So I do apologize for that, guys. Rookie mistake. All right.
Searching for a beach vacation? Find it at Verbo. They search myriads of homes to find your perfect beach house, where you all find your own rooms and
Let's see here.
quality time to find out about each other. Beach houses to cabins.
So yeah, I
Vacation homes that match you with Verbo.
put in my books in my CLZ, the ones I just got in a couple days ago, and I am up to. Let me see here. Give you an official count.
That's an aggressive yellow. Pretty great, huh? If you're a banana, I find it very appealing. Kellogg's Raisin Bran with bananas. 2 scoops meet real banana slices. Benefit now. Raisin again. Okay, everyone.
21,840 comics. So I am officially 160 away. 160 comics away from 22,000. That is insane. I can't even believe that I have that many comic books. But 21,840.
Finishing dinner in no time. Loving every bite. Reaching for seconds.
All right. So now basically I have all my Wolverines, or I mean all my Uncannies here. Then I have volumes 2, 3, and 4 of Uncanny, X-Force, and then more X-Force Volume 1, Extraordinary X-Men, All New X-Men, and X-Men Forever. Then I have my Wolverines Volumes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then I have Savage Wolverine, Wolverine Origins, Wolverine Minis and One-Shots, and more Wolverine Minis and One-Shots down here. So in this box here, I really need to go back. Like I said, this here is all the little mini-series that have come out over the past year, 2 years. X-Men Gold, X-Men Blue, X-Men Red. They're all in this box here. So I really need to go through and start a new box. Or at least label this box so I know what's in there. Over here are just random books, more random titles, mini-series, Old Man Logan. So I really need to put that into my Wolverine boxes somehow. Weapon X, stuff like that. And then here. And then I got my Dakin, X Factor Volumes 1 and 2, Alpha Flight. But now the one section that really needs work is my DC section. The DC section is really not even put in order hardly. So I need to really work on that. Geeky 547 is dropping the ocean. Nah, man, that's a good collection, man. Any amount of books is a good collection, in my opinion. Runs of him says, dang, he thought his 12,000 was a lot. I mean, my wife told me about 5, 6 years ago, my collection fit in the closet downstairs. I don't believe her because I don't remember it fitting in there. And she goes, you moved from a closet to an entire room. And if that's true, I've spent a lot of money on comics. But I don't think it's true. X-Men Red has ended. X-Men Red has ended. Weapon X ended. Gold, Blue. What else? I think most of the other series. Old Man Logan ended. Of course, there were the mini series out there that ended. Yeah, they all ended though. Domino ended. Astonishing X-Men ended. New Mutants ended. What was the one? Cable ended.
The grin he gave me was like he was pulling a practical joke on me. Gotcha, you thought I was a real person and I'm in spirit.
Yeah, but all the other series ended. I think the only thing really going on is Uncanny and X-Force. And I've got both those on my pull list. Yeah, X-Men Red was good, man. It sucks that it did end. What's up, Matt? Matt Murdoch, everybody. Go check his channel out. No content, but he's a super nice guy. He's been a big supporter of my channel from probably the beginning, I'm thinking. Cool guy, man. A lot of these YouTubers, man, I wish they'd make some videos because I know their collections are amazing. And I would definitely try to push their channels, you know, if anybody listens to me. But I know a lot of guys would have amazing collections in there, and they would just be awesome to show. All right, so my X-Men collection is pretty much up in line, ready to go. Everything's in order. That was a big task for me too, trying to put all these in order and stuff. It took me a couple months of trying to get them all aligned. And then what I did is I separated everything. My laptop right now and my webcam is sitting on top of my independent stack. And my independent stack goes about 2 boxes from this side, all of this side, and a row and a half on here. And then almost all this is X titles to right here. And then this here is just random Marvel stuff. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 boxes that I need to go through and category them. Put them in, you know, Avengers, Spider-Man, whatever. Of course, this is my Conan books. My Venomverse has my Venom collection in it. And then over here starts all my Marvel. This whole wall is Marvel. And I moved the open top boxes. If you guys remember in previous videos, all the top boxes in my collection were open top. But I switched it up. I mean, I liked it, but I switched it up to now only the open boxes are current books that I'm carrying, whether it's Marvel, DC, or independent. And so basically what I've done is these 2 boxes here are my current Marvel books. So they're with my Marvel section. Over here I have 3 boxes of open DC books. And those are, you know, of course, my monthly DC titles. And I have 1 box over there for my independents. Yeah, so it seems like I have more of the DC titles, but I've cut a few off my pull list. I don't have as many as I used to. But yeah, and of course, I got my wife to read comics, and she loves, I mean, I thought it was a pretty good show too, the Sabrina Netflix show. Thought it was decent. But she breezed through this in like 2 days. So it's kind of cool that I got my wife when we first met about 16 years ago. Had no interest in comics, no interest in the comic book movies, TV shows. I mean, there weren't really any TV shows out back then, but she wasn't interested in anything comic book related. And for a couple of years, we even fought about my collection. She thought it was too much, blah, blah, blah. And basically what you got to do, guys, it's a little bit of a dick move. I don't suggest doing it because it worked. It didn't really pan out the way I wanted it to work. But you got to just give them an ultimatum. Say, listen, I told my wife, I said, this collection that I have is older than you, so I'm not going to give it up. So we can accept it, move on, or I don't know. You decide. And she's here, so I'm good. But it's always a scary thing to give a woman an ultimatum. But yeah, so I guess now I'll kind of work on my DC section a little bit. DC section, man, I really wasn't into DC that much until probably a couple years ago. And then I saw everybody talking about Batman. You know, I had a few Batman books, but not as many. And then I really started getting into Batman. Superman, not so much. I think I got like 1 or 2 short boxes. Most of my DC stuff is random DC titles and miniseries. I do have, let me see how many Batman I have. Let's see here. I've got 1 whole short box of Harley Quinn. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got about 6 short boxes of Batman and Batman-related titles. So damn near almost as much. I have more Batman books than I have Uncanny books. That's weird. But that encompasses everything. Detective, Batman, Batman and the Outsiders, Legends of the Dark Knight, Batman Eternal, Batman Beyond. So I mean, it's all the different little series and stuff. But yeah, it's when you get a collection this big, man, it just becomes a chore to try to get it all organized and keep it organized. Because once you start getting more books and you have a box that's full, and now you've got to kind of like shift things around. Yeah, it's a pain in the ass. Yeah, man, it was tough telling my wife that. Well, at the time she wasn't my wife; she was just my girlfriend. But she understood. She understood that this was my passion, and that's I wasn't going to give it up. So, but I was scared. Trust me, I was scared. All right, so got my DC horror here. Let's see what I got in this box. Yeah, like it's so much better now that I don't have my boxes are not jam packed. You know what I mean? They're not like packed full. So I think that was a big mistake I made for a long time on my collecting is how I was keeping my books. This is a good little series here. I don't know if you guys collect this or not. It's called Dead World. Let me show you. I know there's a lot of speculation out there that this is where Kirkman got his inspiration for Walking Dead. But it's a series from Caliber Comics. Called Dead World. It's a black and white comic, just like Walking Dead. Weird. This came out long before Walking Dead did. And what I love about it is on the title, on the top, it says "Not for Wussies." But if you guys haven't looked this up, these are relatively cheap on eBay. It's a pretty good story. They're pretty graphic. Like I said, I think a lot of people I've read online and stuff to think that Robert Kirkman got his inspiration from this. But it's a really cool series. I always pick them up when I can find them for cheap on eBay. They got really cool cover. Like I said, it's the art is good. The story's pretty decent. I believe there was 3 volumes out. And on the back of one, let me see if I can find it. On the back of one is the first appearance of the Crow. Let me see if I can find that issue.
Too many nightmares. Too scary. So on that evening in 2006, I had a group. Thanks very much. If you guys enjoyed the tour, time to go home. I tell you, most of it was pretty common.
I want to say it's issue 10,
luring me into a false sense of
but I am not 100%.
Time to go. I noticed two people. Now, I didn't think anything of it. I just assumed they were part of the group. And I called out to them. I said, "It's time to go. Please follow me." And they ignored me. And when I called it the second time, it was kind of like they turned a bit and they walked right into the woods. It gets darker and darker as you're heading into the woods. And the area they walked into, I was afraid they could hurt themselves and I trip and fall. So I started running. And 2 seconds behind them, I shine a flashlight into those dark woods. And there's no one there. There's no way that I wouldn't have heard them run away or seen them try and run away if they were playing some kind of weird joke on me.
Sorry, guys, I'm trying to find it. I'll be right there. Yeah, you can't see me.
They just vanished into thin air. I'm thinking I'm starting to go a little bit crazy at this point.
Yeah, I think it's issue 10. But I love the cover to issue number 1, and they are hard to find in mint to near mint condition because it's an all black cover.
Could they have silently snuck away in the time that I came over? Could they have run off silently? And as I checked,
oh man, yeah, this season of Walking Dead. What's up, Evan? Yeah, doing a little daytime. I was off today. Figured I'd do a little organization, little room thing, talk about comics and stuff, and was bored today, my day off, so figured I'd show this. But yeah, it's an all black cover. I have 3 copies of it, but it's hard to find without any spine ticks, because on a black book, if you get a spine tick, it's going to take away from it a little bit. But these are all pretty nice condition. But yeah, if you guys haven't checked out, if you guys are into Walking Dead, you may enjoy this series here. Yeah, dude, freaking Alpha is creepy as hell. I mean, I don't know, you guys tell me your opinion, but I think she may be the best villain they've had so far, because she's just brutal, man. I mean, I thought Negan was brutal, but damn, I mean, if you guys haven't watched the last episode, I won't even say anything, but man, the last episode, woo! And this coming episode looks like it's going to be pretty good too, so I'm excited about that. But here's issue number 10. This is the pricier book of the lot. Number 1's, pretty pricey, but number 10 is the big book that everybody goes after because, you know how they say first appearance, and it's really just like an ad, but it's the first time the Crow has been showed in a comic, and it's on the very back. But there it is. That's a lot of people call this the first appearance of the Crow, and it's Dead World number 10. This book is probably, I would probably say it could use a press, but yeah, pretty awesome. That's the first appearance of the Crow. That's what everybody goes after, is this book here. I'll show you a little bit of the inside. It's pretty funny. It says, "Give him enough rope," and it's got some guy like falling with some rope tied around his legs. But it's just like The Walking Dead. And this book came out prior to. It's black and white. But yeah, I like Daryl as the lead. I mean, in my opinion, it just seemed like they were making Rick too much of a wuss lately. You know what I mean? He was too, hey, I know you want to try to get along with people, but I don't know. Some people don't need to be, the Saviors did not need to be part of the group. They were definitely bad, still are bad. But this series came out in 1988. So if you're gonna buy this, just know that this book's gonna be the pricier one. I believe I got this for like 20, 25 bucks on eBay, but it can go up to $100, $150. So just be careful of that when you go out looking for it. Just know that book is gonna be the pricier of the books. But it's a good series, guys. You should check it out. Like I said, if you're into Walking Dead, if you're into zombies and stuff like that, this is a good series to get. And of course, the cream of my collection is in these two boxes here. No, I wish I did. I think I'm complete from 100 to current. And I have a few issues sporadically from like 80 up. But no, nowhere even close. You know what I'll do? I'll get the walking. I have all the trades. So between trades and single issues, I have the whole entire run. But as for single issues, no, I do not. But once the show ends and all these books come down to earth, I will probably try to pick up the entire run. But as you guys know, what's up, Silver Age Dave? Thanks for stopping by, man. Of course, this is the holy grail of my collection, besides the Hulk 181. Woo, handsy, baby. Love me some handsy. I've got 21 copies. I've been seeing a few on eBay. You know, the sales of these have started, I don't know if it's died down, but it's slowed down. And I was almost tempted to pick up a couple, but I got 2 big-ass stacks. I got 21 copies total. Here's the other book, full of them. Here's the whole stack. But, yeah. You know, these go for, I mean, I've seen one that, there was one on there that had freaking ink and writing all over the cover, and they wanted like 60 bucks for it. I'm like, dude, are you kidding me? I mean, like the white part on the writing was all filled in with an ink marker. There was drawing on the face, and they wanted like 60 bucks for it. And I'm like, that's crazy to think you're going to get 60 bucks. Now, the graded ones at a 7.0 are going for like $400. Oh, wow. So you've dropped all the single issues and you haven't watched the show. This season's been pretty good. But yeah, The Walking Dead is kind of, it did drop off for a while. Like it got kind of boring for a little bit, but now with the whispers in it, it's picking up. Yeah, 32 bucks. There was an auction that just ended, and it was like, I think it went for like 21, 22 bucks. I almost jumped on it, but you know, a lot of these I bought back in the day, I bought for under $15. I think the first one I saw on YouTube, the only one I saw on YouTube before I started showing them, was Captain Strangelove. And I think it was one of his really old videos. If you guys haven't watched Captain Strangelove, you guys are really missing out on a great channel that doesn't get a lot of, I mean, he's got a lot of subs and he gets a lot of views, but he's one of them older collectors that if you just watched some of his videos, you would be in complete and utter shock on his collection. I mean, he'll pull out a box of books that he hasn't looked in like 30 years or whatever, and he'll just start pulling out like X-Men 1s and Hulk 1s and or whatever, Hulk 101s, just like 4 or 5 copies. You know, he's like, oh, I didn't realize I had these in here. And it's just like amazing collection. He's got like a 2 or 3 story house. And I think the whole bottom level and like bedrooms on the second level are just nothing but comic book rooms. And I'm sure his collection is probably triple what mine is. I thought I had a lot of books. That guy has a ton of books. But yeah, go check out Captain Strangelife. Super nice guy. And his knowledge of comics is probably better than Howler Mouse. Howler Mouse had a knowledge of comics that is just unbelievable. But Captain Strangelife, I mean, he's got a lot of like really old, golden age, silver age horror. Damn, now I need to go downstairs and watch some of his vids, man. But yeah, he's just got an amazing collection. You guys should check it out. He does a room tour, and I think it's like 3 videos long. But check that out, guys. He's got an awesome collection. But yeah, since Hansy, man, he was the only one that showed it. And I didn't, if you look at the book, people are going to say, oh, it's a bad book. It's an evil book. Yeah, it's got the Nazi flag on the cover. And yeah, that can be offensive to people. But people need to learn not to be so damn, not so damn offended about everything. And I think that's what's wrong with the world today is people get too fucking offended by shit. But it's actually a Christian comic book. Now, I don't know if you guys have watched any of my videos that I've done on this. I've done a couple of videos on this. I even have a video up where I show you the entire comic digitally, so that way if you don't want to buy it, you can look at it. You can even find it online. Just look up Hansy, the Girl Who Loved the Swastika comic book, and it'll do a page by page, so you can actually read the book. But it's basically her life as a kid, and she joined the Nazi youth program, and she was all for Nazi Germany. And then she started to realize how bad Germany was and what they did. And it shows her escape from Nazi Germany, and they get put into a Russian camp, basically. And she talks about how the women in there were raped and stuff like that. Basically, at the very end, she ends her way up to America, and she becomes a Christian. So it's a Christian comic book. It's not one of them weird indie books. It's actually a Christian comic book. They gave these out in churches. They gave these out to the kids. It's actually got Archie Comics advertised on the back. I believe the guy that writes Archie Comics or wrote some Archie Comics actually wrote that comic. So, yeah, it's, you can't change history. It is what it is. Sucks. Millions of people died for no reason, but you can't just act like history never happened. You got to just accept it and hope that it never happens again and just move on. I mean, you just got to. But I try to look up print runs on it, and I can't find any information on it. All I found out is that it was given out at churches. So there could be 2 million copies. There could be 1 million copies. There could be 100,000 copies. I just don't know. And of those books that were made, how many survived? You know what I mean? How many of them books did kids actually take home? And what did the churches do with the books that were left over? Did they just throw them out? Did they send them back to the publisher? There's just no way of knowing the exact number of books. And yeah, Silver Age Dave, it's a Spire comic book. So, I mean, unless somebody, Silver Age Dave, you might know if there's like where I can go to get a print run on that. But I'm curious as to find out. Like I said, I've got 22 copies total. It'd be nice if it was under 1,000, but who knows? Ignore or erase history and it will repeat itself. Absolutely true. I mean, I don't like getting political on my channel, but I mean, the things the Democrats and the liberals are doing now, it's crazy what they accuse people of, and I don't know, it's crazy. Hopefully you guys on Wednesday, when you went to your shop, you picked up what do they call it, the Thesmel, or I forget how they say that, but the reprint of the Hulk 181. Hopefully you guys picked that up. I picked up a couple copies. When I go back Wednesday, if they have more, I might pick up more. It's just cool to have. It's an exact reprint of Hulk 181, right down to the advertisements on the inside. And if you're a little bit older like me, so I'm sure Silver Age Dave knows, runs in the family. I'm sure you guys know the old comic book ads, man, were just fun. You know what I mean? They were just fun. And like I said, this book here is a complete reprint of the book. All the way, like I said, all the way down to the, like, there's the back page. I think the only thing that is not on this, that's on this book that isn't original, is the price, the barcode, and the little fact that it says Marvel down in the corner. It says Marvel down there. You've got the barcode and the price, $3.99. Those are probably the only three things on there that are not original to the book. But right down to the opening page. Okay, Silver Age Dave, thanks, man. He's at his appointment. He'll try to find out about Hansy. Okay. That's fine. You know, if I'm ever in town or you're ever in town, I'll buy you a beer. Yeah, but it's a pretty cool book. Life-size monsters, 7 feet tall. I mean, as a kid, I remember looking at these ads as a kid and going, man, I wish I had some extra money. You know what I mean? They had, I don't know if there's an ad here for it, but little plastic army soldiers. And they used to be on the back page. They had like the World War II. They had the Roman army on there. And they had like a Civil War on there. And not the comic, the actual Civil War from the United States. And I actually scraped up some money as a kid, saved my allowance, and I bought a set of the Civil War set. No, the Roman army set. And man, what a disappointment! Because the picture on the ad, they look so awesome, so detailed. You know, they were amazing. You thought, oh man, I'm gonna get this big old collection of army soldiers, and I'm gonna be able to have to build a fort and all that stuff. Then you get them in, and they were about the size, probably about the size of a quarter. You know, lengthwise, about the size of a quarter, and they were real cheap plastic, and they weren't even like detailed. They were like white. You know, some were all white, some were all blue, some were all red, some were like a yellow, and I'm like, oh man, what a disappointment. You know. Yes. Yeah, they were the best, man. And what I love doing to my poor wife is I like getting an old Silver Age book out. And what I'll do is I'll open that book up, and you guys know that smell from the center page, man. The smell of an older comic is just, it's freaking amazing. And I just told my wife, I said, you know what that smells like? And she goes, what? I said, if there's a heaven, that's what it smells like. It smells like the center page of a Silver Age comic book. But yeah, so all right, let me kind of swing my camera around, and I'll show you guys my DC side of my collection. Let's see if you guys can see that there. I got my little webcam hooked to a box, one of those little boxes I showed you, and I have it sitting on top of some empty boxes. Now let me see if you guys can see it. See my DC collection here. What's up, Midwest? Midwest was, now see, the thing about Hansy is I would have probably about 25 copies right now, but I gave a few away. Midwest was a recipient of one of my AOKs of a Hansy. I gave him one. I gave Aim High Comics. I gave Alex I think I gave Alex the Comic Quarter one. And who else? I gave one other one away. I can't remember, but I gave 4 away. So I would have 25 of those. just an awesome book to have in your collection. If you're into like rare comics, rarities and stuff like that, yeah, it's definitely a book to have. But here's my DC side of my collection. This whole wall is DC books. They're stacked 4 high. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 times 4, 32. I got about 34, 35 short boxes of DC books. So right now I'm going to kind of organize these. Just bear with me. My shoulder's still sore. If you guys remember, I had to pull muscle in my chest and a strained muscle in my shoulder. So awesome luck for me. Got my trusty Diet Coke. All right. So next weekend I am off. I start vacation a week from today. I start vacation. And the beauty about my job is I've been there so long that I have almost 7 weeks of vacation. It's like 6 weeks, 3 days of vacation time. And next week, going on vacation, and there's an old bookstore about 10 miles from here, from where I live. And I was in the post office the other day, like last week or the week before, and make sure you guys watch my video on how to dust. You need to dust the top of your boxes off. There's an old bookstore that the lady told me about. It's like a little hole in the wall. It's a little building in a big field all by itself. She says if you drive past it and you're not looking, you'll miss it. But she said he has a bunch of comic books and he sells them like really cheap. She said he's got like a quarter of the store is like comic books, but most of the store is like, like books, like regular like reading books. And she's like, you should really go there and check it out. You might find something you like. So I'm gonna take about $50-$75 with me, and he's only open 2 days a week, Saturday and Sunday. So I think next Saturday I'm gonna drive down there, take about $75 with me, see what he's got, see if I can find some gems. I looked at his website online, and he's got a big section, like it looks like in the back of the store, of nothing but short boxes on both sides and underneath the tables. And it looks like it's about 5 or 6 tables long of just comics. So I'm going to get down there early Saturday, right when he opens, and I'm probably going to spend a few hours in there digging. So I'm going to take some video and show you guys what I pick up. But yeah, that's my plans for vacation. I'll probably go to the flea market, and yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all my mini-series boxes together in one section. What I try to do is try to keep it all together. I've pretty much got my Marvel side down. Like over here on the bottom 2 levels, the bottom 2 levels down here are all Spider-Man books. And Spider-Man related titles like Peter Parker, Web of Spider-Man. Then up here is my Avengers and Avenger characters. Now what I mean by that is like Hulk, Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, the staple Avengers. I try to keep them along with my Avengers books. And then I have a mini-series over here. So I'm really trying to like funnel my collection into a really well-fined, oiled machine to where I can just walk in, and if I want to go to my X-Men books, I know exactly where to go. If I want to get my Batman books, I want to know where to go. The sad part is I'm not as a big of DC fan as I am of Marvel. So I was really meticulous with my Marvel collection and not so much with my DC collection. I kind of just hodged and podged and put it together and slapped books in a box. That had really no rhyme or reason. Like all the different Justice League books. I try to keep them together, of course. The Batman books, I try to keep all my Batman-related type books together. But as for anything else, it's just, I got Aquaman thrown in there with Wonder Woman. Why? I don't know. But I may do a similar type thing with that as with I did with the Avengers. Like keep Aquaman and Wonder Woman and Superman and Batman along with my Justice League books, because to me, that old Justice League comics from back in the day, those were the staple characters of the group. So to me, in my crazy OCD, crazy collector's mind, that makes sense to me. It might not make sense to you, but I don't know how you guys are with your collections, but I really like my collection to be really, really organized. And in a bad thing with my independent books is I'm really bad at revaluing and boarding them when I get them in. It's not that I don't care about them as much, but 5 or 6 years ago, when I got some Evil Ernie books in that I ordered because I really liked the character and I really liked the Lady Death universe, they came in really crappy bags and boards, and I never really, even to this day, I really haven't even switched them out. I just now switched out my Purgatory books. If you guys haven't read Purgatory, she's an amazing character, part of the Lady Death universe. But I just now rebagged and boarded all my books for that run. So slowly but surely, I'm getting into like just switching everything over. But the Mylar thing is crazy. Iron Basis said he likes Ghost Rider, Batman, Wolverine, and Star Trek. Yeah, man. I mean, there's so many great. That's the thing about. I hate keep bashing on people coming into collecting, but there's so many great titles out there other than collecting. I'm gonna put you guys on pause. My wife's calling, so just sit tight. I'll be right back, guys. She's calling me on our lunch break. Hello. Hi. All right, guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. My wife was on lunch, and she usually calls me on our lunch break. So, but yeah, so you know, I just want to tell young collectors, man, there's so much out there. There's so many great stories, and to not just get focused on keys and see, like this box here is all fucked up. Not just get focused on keys, but get some good runs, man. There's so many great stories out there. See, like this whole box is Green Lantern Corps. So try to keep them together. I'll probably keep them together with like the Wonder Woman comics that I have. This one here is straight up a mix of everything. Oh, if you guys want an awesome series to get, now this series here is pricey as hell, but you guys want a really good story, really good independent story, you got to get Straight Jacket. Straight Jacket by Amigo Comics. Woo! That is a good story, guys. It's creepy as hell. If you guys don't know about Amigo Comics, they make, they have some really great independent. They're a really great independent company, and they have some really great stories. And I can't shout them out enough. There's a woman on Instagram that I've gotten to know through Instagram, and she actually wrote a comic. Let me see if I can find it. It's probably buried somewhere. But she wrote a comic, and I mean, I'm telling you now, her handle is Jennifer is Lost. And let me see if I can find it real quick. If I can find the trade. I just don't know where I would have it. It's not just about the next break. Damn it. Oh well, but anyways, you guys gotta look her up. But this series here, Straight Jacket, I have like 2 sets of the regular, and I have 1 set of the Virgin cover. Let me see how many sets I have. 1. I might have. Oh damn! I'm one book shy of having 3 complete runs of the regular set. Now the regular set, the only downside is issue number 4. It's an all-white cover, and unfortunately, it's from the manufacturer of the comic. For some reason, the back cover, I believe the back cover is red. And what they did was, from what I understand, it's got, see how the back cover has got some red on it? What they did is off the press, when they laid them on top, the red came off onto the book, the white cover. So the white cover isn't bone white, like it should be. It's got some red around the edges. But other than that, the story is really good. I don't want to give it away, but it's a black and white comic. All right, Geeky. Thanks for stopping by, man. I appreciate it. But yeah, check it out. It's a really good book. Amigo Comics is amazing. They're a little independent company, and they do make just great. Every one of their stories, to me, so far, the ones that I've gotten have been really good. So check them out. But this is the regular cover. Number 1 is really pricey. I think number 1 goes for like $75 plus. So I've got 3 copies of that. Then here's issue number 2. And I've got 3 copies of it. And then we've got issue number 3. And I got 3 copies of that. And I found these on eBay cheap. And I got 2 copies of number 4. So, and then here is the Virgin covers. I don't know which one's which because there's no numbers on the cover, but the Virgin covers are pretty badass too. And that's one. I don't. There's no numbers on them, so I don't know which one's which. But yeah, pretty awesome. Check that out, guys. That's a great independent title. So this box here has basically got DC and independent horror books. So I'm gonna kind of set that one off to the side. Another thing you got to be careful with is small dogs. We have a small dog, so you got to be careful when I'm moving my boxes. Not to step on her because she likes to play. Yeah, I gotta redo these boxes, guys. There's no reason for me to try to put them in order because there's just no rhyme or reason to them.
Centered in my head and chest, and it seemed to be a little bit associated with the.
So, with that being said, unless you guys have any questions or anything, I'm going to head out. Mastodon Comic Collecting. What's up, man? I don't want. There's an unfavorable scumbag in the chat. I don't see anybody in here. Who is that? I don't see anybody. Oh, trying to be funny. Yeah, he is. He's unfavorable. That's for sure. No, I'm just kidding. Midwest. He's awesome. Midwest is awesome, man. Chris Chat 5 says he collects older books, Platinum and Golden Age, and will often categorize them by company and title plus character and creator. Yeah, that's a good idea. You know, I'm always trying to find a way to, like I said, that's why I like watching a lot of YouTube videos because it kind of gives you, especially like room tours or room ideas. I wish more people did videos like that instead of just showing, you know, books all the time. Like, show me how you do your collection. Like, show me how you organize your collection. How do you, you know, how do you organize your boxes? And so that's the stuff I like to see, man. I could watch videos like that all day long. So if any of you guys that are watching want to make videos like that, just know people will watch them. I know I would watch them. But yeah, I thought about doing that way too. Just doing it by, well, I do kind of organize them by company, but then I try to like subcategory them into by title or by hero or whatever. Just to try to keep it a little bit more streamlined. Discovery Bay Comics, what's up, my man? But yeah, that's how I like to kind of like organize my books. But with my DC, man, I'm so perplexed on what to do because I've got so many hit and miss titles. Like in this one box here, I've got Batgirl, Batwoman, Flash, and Wonder Woman, all in one box. And this box is kind of a little tighter than I like. So I may have to take something out, kind of switch it up. Like maybe I should do like all female boxes. Like just have like all my woman titles, like Catwoman, Batgirl, Wonder Woman, all in one box. And this one here is really random. Like this has got Wonder Woman, and this box is also packed super tight. But this has Challengers Unknown, Random DC, Strange Adventures, House of Mystery, Black Hawk, Adventure Comics, Superboy, and Wonder Woman. So this, I mean, like I said, it's a mess. in my box is what I got going on here. And this here is a little bit of a mix of everything too. So yeah, I really just, but maybe that's what I'll do on my vacation. I'll make a live stream where I'm kind of like organizing my DC side, because my Marvel side's good and my X-Men titles are good. Man, Iron Bases, you like a lot of good books. I like that. It's awesome. Discovery Base says he has all the females in one box: Supergirl, Wonder Woman, Catwoman, Harley, and Batgirl. Yeah, I think that's the direction I may go with my DC books. I know I've got one whole box just strictly for Harley Quinn. I was on a Harley Quinn kick there for a while. I think mainly because my old LCS, Heroes Haven, God rest her soul, they back in the heyday, man, they used to have a lot of signings, and we had Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Connor come twice to the shop, and both times I went, I got a shit ton of books signed by them. Let me see if I can pull them if they're close. I've got a whole shit ton of books signed by them, and I've given a few away, but they are super nice. And it's also on my YouTube channel, the what do you call that? The top picture is me with Amanda and Jimmy. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, my Harley Quinn box is like, here's issue number 0. And see, this is the certificate that I got from my shop. Hey, Iron Bassist, if you're interested, I just uploaded a video today of the Western Ghost Rider, Silver Age, Christian Slade. You might be interested in it. It's a 7-issue run. Check it out, man. You might like it. But issue 0 of Harley Quinn, signed by Amanda Connor, Jimmy Palmiotti, and Chad Harden, signed right here. So I'm always looking for any of these people to come to one of my cons so I can have, get it signed by all of them. But this is one book that I got. So I got like a ton of books. Like I got like maybe 15 books signed by them. And my shop, the old shop, was really good about having people show up. Humberto Ramos showed up one time. I got a bunch of books signed by him. A bunch of my Wolverine covers that he did. Colin Bunn. I had him sign a bunch of Ash comics. So, yeah, they used to have, like, a bunch of people show up. And they just, one day I went in to get my books on a Wednesday. And they're like, yeah, we didn't get any new books in. I'm like, what, really? And I'm like, what happened? And they go, oh, we're closing the shop. We're closing in 2 weeks. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? So they closed down, and they had a huge sale, and it was a sad. Hulk Nuts, what's up, man? The one thing I always get stuck with Mylar bags and acid-free boxes and backing boards just for long-term storage. It costs more for long-term storage than it pays, but it pays in the long run. Yeah, I've done a video on that, actually. Chuff 5, I did a Mylar versus Polybag where I broke down the price of what it would cost to put your collection in Polybag compared to what it would cost to keep it in Mylar. And over time, it's cheaper to have your books in Mylar bags, because a Mylar bag, if you take care of your books and you take care of your collection, the Mylar bag is a one and done, in my opinion, one and done for your collection. The only thing I'm stuck on are the backboards. Now, I know the fullbacks, I'm not a big fan of the halfbacks. They're too flimsy for me. So the fullbacks, I know they're acid-free, but are they really going to last the lifetime of the book? Now, to me, lifetime of the book is however long you keep your collection. Like for me, this collection that I have is with me till the day I'm gone. So it could be another 20 years, 30 years, who knows? But I just don't know. I don't know if there's been enough research done to say that that backing board is going to last the lifetime of the book. Now, I do admit, fullbacks will probably last 3-4 times longer than a normal backing board. So in my opinion, polybags today are made a little bit better quality than the ones that were made 15, 20 years ago when we all, started collecting, or even before I collected. So it's hard to say. I would say I wouldn't keep my comics in a polybag longer than maybe 7 to 10 years. To me, that's about as long as I would go with a polybag. Some polybags even start to deteriorate even quicker than that. You'll notice that the bags will start to get a little bit of a wrinkle to them. Now, everybody's gonna, there's gonna be some people out there that are gonna preach to you that freaking polybags will last 30 plus years. And I mean, hey, it's your collection. You do what you want. But if you want to keep a decent, presentable comic in a bag, once it starts to get that ripple effect on the bag, to me, the bag's shot. It's done. It's like, it's like you finger banged it with 4 fingers. It's done. So Mylar, yes, the initial hit is going to be, it's like, wow, 20. I mean, you could probably find good deals on eBay, or if you have, like, your shop has a sale, like my shop had a sale, buy 2 comic supplies at regular price, get it in a third for 36 cents with no limit. So if you find deals like that, yeah, initially it's going to hurt, but in the long run, you'll never have to rebuy them bags unless you do something to screw the bag up. So it's a hit at first. Now, it depends on the size of your collection. If you have 1,000 books, to me, spending, $200-300 on bags, to me, is worth it, because I'll never have to change that bag out again. I'm one and done. Somebody like me, who has 160 books shy of 22,000 comics, and I just recently started switching over to Mylar. Recently, I mean the past 5 to 6 years. To me, it's like a freaking car payment. I mean, it's not a car payment, but it's like getting a loan for a car. So I have to do my switching over in pieces. Like, I just did my Uncanny run. Now I'm going to work on my Wolverine run. So that's how I'm going to work my collection out. Now, if I come across a big sum of cash and I'm able to go out and just buy 20,000 bags in one shot, then I'll do my whole collection in one shot. But if you have a smaller collection, or a mid-size collection and you can afford it, I would say, me personally, to stick to Mylar from the get-go, even with new books. I mean, I know some people are like, I'm only going to put my Silver Age, my Bronze Age, Copper, Golden, and my key books in Mylar and keep everything else in poly. But I'm sure over time, a lot of people like me, I have OCD, so I start looking, I'm like, well, I'd really like me collecting comics. It's hard for me to stop my pull list because I'm a completist. So getting a title through 1 through 50 and just stopping is hard for me because I know the title's still going on, and eventually I'm going to want to complete that run. But anyways, that's another subject. But if I could have, if I was a newer collector, I would just go strictly Mylar with everything. Because if you buy 50 a week for 15, 20 bucks, I mean, it's expensive, but it's not that. You're thinking about your collection. You're thinking about protecting your collection in the long run. And it's something that you'll never have to do again unless you switch out the backing boards. And that's another issue that I struggle with in my head. Like, how long is a fullback good for? Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if there's any concrete evidence saying, hey, a fullback has the lifespan of a Mylar bag. It can last forever. But do we really know that it can? You know what I mean? So that would be your only expenses if you did switch them over. But if you did, and you only did it every 10 to 20 years, it's really not that bad. Unless your collection's huge, then it's really going to be expensive. But let me get caught up on the chat here for a little bit. But that's just my 2 cents on that. Let me see. Poke Nuts, like I said, what's up, man? Glad you stopped by, dude. Love your channel. I love your guys' chat. I might not comment all the time because I watch a lot of your videos, you and economics, and I have issues on my TV and I can't comment on my TV, but I give it a thumbs up. But man, you guys have some awesome content. I love watching it. Man of War Comics. Let me see here. Mylar all the way. Yep, runs in the family. Yeah, Hulk Nuts. After 20 years, the boards do start getting kind of funky. You know what I mean? No finger banging your books. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Basically, yeah. I'm with you, Iron Bases. I love comic books, man. So yeah. So I Mylar bags are good, I think, for the life of the comic. Like I said, as long as you don't abuse your books, and I don't think any of us really do. If you're a collector and you're passionate about collecting, you're not going to really screw up your collection. You don't do anything to jeopardize your collection. Now, I live in Florida, so during the summer, the humidity is fucking goddamn insane. It's like 100%. So trying to keep my room, what I do to help my room is I have blackout curtains, so there's really literally no sunlight that comes in this room. The only light this room ever sees are from the lamps that I have. I do have a humidity detector, and I think it's cool if you guys get one of these for your room. If you guys are concerned, like right now, it's at 49%, and the temperature's at 79. The temperature goes up in this room because I have my TV on and I have these lights on, so the temperature tends to go up. But when I'm not in my room and the lights are out, TV's off, it gets down to about 70 degrees in here, which is good, I think. And the humidity tends to stay around between 45 and 50. I've read online that that's in the safe zone, but who knows, man? It's hard to control humidity. I'm not going to get a dehumidifier and have that thing run all night and stuff like that. And, you know, like I've had my collection. I've been collecting since I was 8. So going on 40 years on and off that I've been collecting comics. And I've never had my comics in harm's way, like in a room with a bunch of light or in a garage or anything like that. And we don't have basements in Florida, so I don't have experience with what a basement would be like. But like I said, my room is completely blacked out. Blacked out curtain. I only have one window in here, and it's got blackout curtains on it. I have a fan running constantly. I have the little damp rids. I have like 6 of them around my room. So my books really don't get any kind of like harsh elements to them. So, and you know, you can open up a random box of my books and pull out a book, and the bags are good. Like, you know, I have some of these, and some of these poly bags are decent. I will say some of them are pretty decent. Like I said, the newer ones that are made today are a lot better than the ones that were made back when I was a kid, definitely. And they're a lot better than the ones made probably 5 or 6 years ago. But if I had to, and if I could do it all over again, I would have gone strictly Mylar. Mylar is the way to go, and I think the only way to go. Let me see. All right, Runs in the Family. Have a good day, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate you stopping by. Hulk Nut says he's been switching his collection over to Mylar. Yeah. Don Dizzle, what's up, man? He keeps all his comics in Mylar. Yeah, Mylar is definitely the way to go. You know, there's some channels out there that'll tell you, you know, poly bags last forever. There was the reason I even made, if you guys go back to my older videos, and you'll see my poly bag versus Mylar, and I show some examples. I went out and got some books from a flea market, and I showed you the backing board, and it had the imprint of the back page on the actual backing board. The reason I even made that whole entire video was there was a channel, and there still is a channel, We Love Comics. He was saying that under the right conditions, poly bags will last the the life of the book. And I'm like, dude, there's no way that's going to happen. Poly bags are going to break down no matter what condition you keep them in. You can keep them in a fucking sealed vault. They're going to break down eventually. Over time, they will break down. Mylar bags will not break down. They won't break down. And then like I said, I did a chart. I went and I got the highest price for each. The highest price I could find for polys and the highest price I did for Mylars. And I did a side-by comparison over, I think it was like over 20 or 30 years, that in the long run, Mylar is cheaper because you buy it once and you're done. Poly bags, every 7 to 10 years, you have to switch them out. So that was my inspiration for that video, was just trying to rebuttal his thing. And that's what gets me about YouTube, is that I think there's a lot of YouTube channels, especially now, out about comics. And it's become a very popular hobby. It's a hobby that anybody and everybody can just walk into a comic store and get right into comics. It's not like other hobbies where you gotta know a little bit something about guns, you know what I mean, to start collecting guns, or you gotta know a little something about cars, start collecting cars, or macrame. You gotta know how to do macrame. Comic books, you can basically say, I saw a movie, I liked Wolverine, and you can walk into a comic shop and ask the person working there, saying, get me something that can get me started on Wolverine. And you can pick up a trade paperback, you can pick up single issues, you can pick up whatever, and get right into it with no history of it at all. And with YouTube, now there's so many YouTube channels out there. There's literally hundreds, if not probably 1,000 YouTube channels. And everybody's got an opinion on something, and that's beautiful. I think opinions are great. But make sure before you start making videos about how to care for comics or how to collect comics, know a little bit about what you're talking about. And do a little research. It's not bad to do research. Also, don't make videos where you dumbing down your watchers. You know what I mean? Where you dumb down the people that are watching your videos. Like my video I just made a few weeks back, the how to put a comic in a bag and board. How to put a comic in a bag and board. For the thumbs down and the subscribers I lost, it was a parody video of somebody that actually made a video about how to do that. Why would you dumb down somebody to show them how to put a comic in a bag and board? I mean, it's the most simplest thing. It's like putting on a pair of fucking underwear. You know what I mean? It's one leg in, the other leg in, and you pull up. That's it. You put the comic, you put the board in the bag, you put the comic on the board, and you slide it right into the bag. It's that simple. There's no need to make a video about it. And that's the thing, is that there's so many channels out there now, and a lot of these channels are just giving half-assed information. And new collectors, this is what me and Sunshine talked about on the show we did a couple weeks back. Is that new collectors that don't find channels like, I'm not saying specifically mine gives great advice, but I try to give advice that I know will help somebody, because I learned the hard way on how to collect. I made all the mistakes that no one warned. There wasn't YouTube when I collected, so I learned the hard. Like I think even Hulk Nuts said this in one of his live streams with Economics Comics. We learned the hard way of collecting. We had to make up the rules, and we had to make up what was good for us as we went along. So you make mistakes. You don't know how to do this, and you don't know how to do that until you learn from that mistake. And you're like, all right, well, now I know not to do this. Where now YouTube is such a wealth of knowledge that you can either steer somebody in the right direction or the wrong direction on collecting. And I've seen a lot of videos that just give really bad information, and I've seen videos that give really good information. And what sucks is it seems like the videos with the bad information get more views than the videos with the good information. And, my channel's not big. I used to get a lot of views. My channel's kind of gone the downhill. I'm probably on the downslide of YouTube now. I was at a peak, and now I'm kind of on the down. I mean, I have a lot of subscribers, and I get a decent amount of views, but my videos are on the downside. My videos are geared more towards trying to help new collectors and maybe give some advice to new or older collectors that maybe you didn't know, that I didn't know, that I just learned. So I try to spread that along. And I just like showing my collection. I just like showing random comic books that have no rhyme or reason. There's not a huge key. It's not on a top 10 list. It's just, I like comic books. I like runs. I like characters. So I like showing that off. And right now in YouTube, that's not a popular thing. Now, 5 years from now, who knows? My channel may blow up and people are like, wow, this is what we should have been doing a long time ago. But who knows? And even if I don't really care. If I get 5 views, I'm good. Let me check the chat real quick. Yeah, I mean, you're right. And, you know, it may not have been meant to dumb anybody, to dumb somebody down, but I took it as, you know, trying to me, that's just me, my opinion. I'm just Don the Comic Book Junkie out in Florida. To me, it was a little almost, as a seasoned collector, kind of degrading. If you don't know how to bag and board a comic, you probably shouldn't be collecting comics. That's just my opinion. I mean, it's a simple act to make an entire video about it. But I understand, you know, you want to cover all the bases. But I mean, there could have been other videos made that probably would have been a little bit more helpful than how to bag and board a comic, like what types of bags and boards to use. That to me would have been a little bit more, have a little more value per view than how to bag and board a comic. That's just me. I'm just an asshole in Florida. So, but anyways, like I said, just try to weed out the good videos from the bad videos. There's people out there. I'm sure there's people out there that intentionally give bad information, and I'm sure there's people out there to give, you know, that are giving really good information that just don't get. I mean, I see a lot of channels that I'm subscribed to that have really good content don't get a lot of views. Like if you guys have seen him in the chat, runs in the family. He used to have a channel called Denola Comics and Games. And he's just an awesome guy. He's got an amazing collection. And, you know, he inspired me to bring back What's in the Box videos. And his collection is awesome. And he bags and boards all his books in Mylar. And he's got well over 12,000 comics, I believe. And just, you know, there's channels like that out there that people should really pay attention to that unfortunately don't get the love that they probably should. But yeah, that's just my points of view on things. Take it or leave it, love it or hate it. That's just how I collect. And I'm a perfectionist when I come to my collection. Like, I can't stand having books just laying on top of boxes. I like my collection kind of organized. I like my room to be neat. If you guys see my room, I like how it is because everything's streamlined. You know what I mean? I love a streamlined room where everything's in order, and that's how I like my collection. And it's tough, and it's a struggle to keep it like that, but it's fun in the same. Because I'll tell my wife, I'm like, man, I gotta. You know, I spent 4 hours reorganizing my room, and she's like, man, it seems like a job. It's not like a job to me, though. It's fun. You know, it's hard work moving boxes around, you know, taking books out of a box, putting them in another box, and then switching out these cards. The little cards I use, the little index cards. This is another great tip that I saw on a channel that I showed and spread the love. The little plastic, sticky index card holders that you put on the front of your box. And then you use the index card, and then you just take a piece of tape, and you put it on top. You have a big piece of tape, put it on top, fold it over till it hits the back, and then press it together so you get like a tab. And then what you do is you can just write on this index card what's in your box. You can mark it and scratch as much as you want until it's finalized, and then you make a nice, pretty, you know, nice, well-written card, and you put it right in here in this little sleeve. And boom, it's got a little pull tab on it. You can pull it right out. And because I used to have Post-it notes on the front of my boxes. If you guys watch any of my older videos, you'll see that. And I had the color-coded one. So I had my X-Men were blue, Spider-Man was pink, you know, whatever. The Avengers were yellow or whatever. However, I had it organized. And, yeah, so then I saw this on a video. I shouted the person out. You know, I gave them the love and the respect they needed because that was a great idea. And, yeah, and put the little tape on the tabs. I think Silver Age Dave showed that in his video. And then I did the blue painter's tape on the box, on the bags and boards of the comics. And what I did was I made me a little thing here, like, here's your comic. So if the piece of tape is on the far right side, that means it's a signed book. If it's in the middle, it means it's a key of some sort, you know, first appearance, a death, whatever. And if it's on the end, on the far left side, it was either an AOK or a contest winning. And then what I did, if it was an AOK or a contest winning, I would put a little piece of, I'm sure you've seen them in the stores, the little round stickers that are colored like green, blue, yellow, red. I'd put that on the backboard, and then I would write who it was from, like channel name, and then I would put the date. So, you know, now is another thing I showed in the video on how to do that. And I thought it was a great idea because it kind of, here, I'll show you one. To me, it was a great idea. So here's Flash number 6. And as you see, it's got a tape in the middle, so it's a key of some sort. I believe it's the first appearance of Godspeed. So now, when I look in my box, I could see the tape on the actual comic. Because what I did is I just take the tape, I put it on the, you know, I just fold it over, the painter's tape. And the good thing about painter's tape, you guys know, it comes off real easy. So when I look in my box, I can see the tape and where it's at on the book. I know exactly what it represents, whether it's a signed book, if it's a key, or if it was an AOK. Let me see if I have another one here. If I can do here. But that's, I haven't even gone through my collection and done that on all these books yet. I've done it on some, but I still have my whole entire collection to do yet. And that's the only ones I got. And they're all just key books. They're not anything else. But that's how I mark my collection, man. I just try to find ways to make it easier to collect. And when I think of the way, if I come up with an idea, I try to show it and help other people out on their collection. Let me see here. Macedon says he wished he had a room. Yeah, man. I mean, no matter what you're, as long as you have a space, man, I think just having a space for collecting is amazing. Whether it's a closet, if it's a corner of your room, if it's an entire room. Funny story about this is we have a 2-story townhouse. I mean, we have a townhouse, 2 stories, and we have 2 bedrooms, and it's just me and my wife. So I was looking at my collection. I'm like, because we had the treadmill in this room. We had a single wide bed in case we had company or something. We had a treadmill, a TV, and I believe we had like a little bench, you know, that the seat lifted up. You could have storage in there. So one day, I kind of just randomly asked my wife. I said, "What do you think about me making that room, extra room, my comic book room?" She's like, you know, whatever, do whatever you want. So one night, I was on vacation. It was about 2 o'clock in the morning, and I took the single bed downstairs, put it out by the garbage. I took the bench out, took it out by the garbage, and I moved my entire collection in this room overnight. And she was cool with it. She said, as long as you keep it neat. So that's how I did it. I just went ahead and just did it. I asked kind of sort of permission, and I got the, yeah, whatever you want to do kind of nod, and here we are today. And she doesn't mind. I keep it neat, keep it clean. And, yeah, so that's nice. All right. Cobra Comics, man. What's up, brother? All right, Chris M, man. Thanks for stopping by, man. Cobra Comics, man. What's going on, guys? Yeah, yeah. Go check out his new channel. It was Popcom. Now he's changed it. Now he's strictly comic books, which is awesome to have you back in the comic book world, my friend. He was collected pops for a long time and action figures. Now he's back in the comics. But other than that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this because Miss Haley's getting hungry. I know she's hungry. And my wife will be home in a bit. So I just wanted to do a live stream. Like I said, I go on vacation in about a week, and I'll probably do more live streams then, just organizing my collection. I'll probably do a live stream when I go to like really organize my DC side, and I'll show you guys how I kind of do it my way. Whether you're interested in that or not, whatever. And like I said, my live streams, you know, if I get 4 or 5 viewers, I'm good, man. I like, because it makes it easier to talk to people when it's a small affair. So anyways, guys, I hope you guys have a great night. Thanks for tuning in, you know, on a midday during the middle or towards the end of the week and watching my live stream. I hope you guys have a good night. Looking forward to some haul videos or some live streams. Definitely go check out all these channels, man. There's a bunch of great channels out there. Hulk Nuts, he's got some great live streams, him and Economics and Comics, and I Have Issues. Check them out. Cobra Comics, he'll be putting out some content. Runs in the Family, check him out. He's done about 6 short box videos, and he's got an amazing collection, guys. Go check him out. Comics Mix, Mastodon Comics, go check him out. Who else? Yeah, just go Midwest. Go check these guys out, man. These are all guys that have great content, great collections, and it's always good to see. Discovery Bay, he's always doing shout outs. Geeky GMT, Silver Age Dave, just so many great people out there, man. Just don't let everybody get lost in the shuffle. Just know there's some great YouTubers out there, have been out there for a while, that don't get the love they deserve, man. Well, I appreciate you stopping by, Mastodon. I mean, like I said, you can always watch my videos on the upload, re-upload, or whatever. But I'm glad you stopped by. I'm glad everybody stopped by. And all right, guys, that is it. I'm out. I'm busted. I'm tired. Time to go relax, watch some videos, and yep. Have a good night, guys. Peace.